Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Starting off with the business session for today's meeting, I have a couple of announcements on behalf of our Vice President Education, Toastmaster Pavni. The first announcement is the roll takers update for next Monday, that's 18th of November. One speech slot has been booked by Toastmaster Shubha, and all the other roles, the speech slots, the MTG, the TAPG, evaluation slots are open. So if you're interested, please do contact Toastmaster Pavni to book your roles. The second announcement is about a joint meeting with Dhwani Toastmasters Club coming up this Saturday. We have a great lineup of role takers and speakers ready for you, and this joint meeting, which is with another Toastmasters Club, is happening at Transcend Group of Institutions, Yelchinnahalli, on Saturday from 2:45 p.m. and up until 5 p.m. So this is another reputed Toastmasters Club in our district in South Bangalore, and our past president is the current president at Dhwani Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Amitabha, and consists of several experienced members as well. So I request all our members to make good use of this networking opportunity and also learn from the best of the best from both clubs. With that, I conclude the business session. Yes.
The particular club that you mentioned, last week our member has won a ribbon.
Yes.
For table topic. That may be something that need to be announced so that
yes.
he deserves a round of applause. Got another kind of flag that we have about our club's achievement. The ribbons were lying idle, and he has got it stitched it together. Let's give him a round of applause for that initiative. The project was lying open for so many years, but he completed it now. So it is to his credit that he got it done. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. With that, we can conclude the business session. Over to our acting sergeant.
Rocky Balboa is the American World Heavyweight Champion, or rather the boxing champion. And he was undisputed, the reigning king, and he was just about to retire and join his friend Apollo Creed, who's been retired for half a decade, out of commission and relaxing. But just as the Americans are celebrating, the Russian contingent arrives. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. The Russian contingent consists of Ivan Drago, the man known as the next evolution of the humankind. He's 7 feet tall and makes the 6 feet Rocky Balboa look like a dwarf. He's so tall, he's so strong, he's so scary, and he challenges Rocky to an exhibition match. Apollo Creed, thinking this might be his opportunity back in the spotlight, jumps at the opportunity and says, I want this fight. The fight commences with Apollo Creed on one side and the Russian contingent, Drago, on the other side. It's 2 rounds of intense battling, and Drago takes him out with a swift punch and sends Apollo Creed straight to heaven. And this is not metaphorical. This was the brutal 1980s, where the Russians and Americans were head to head and would take everything out, and they would do everything to take each other out. But this is when Rocky has to decide what he's going to do next. To go on and fight this madman of a machine, or to go and enjoy his cozy retirement. And if you really want to see what happens next, I urge you to watch Rocky 4. It's one of my favorite movies. And with that, I would like to give it to the man who's supposed to handle all such matter of conflicts at Mekon Communication Club. He is our president, an avid quizzer, a reader, and he is our president, Shivaprasad Sharma.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan, for that amazing introduction. Very good evening once again, Toastmasters and guests in the room. Let's start this meeting without any further conflict and by addressing the people who are the most important in any Toastmasters meeting, and those are the guests who have come here to witness what a Toastmasters meeting is all about. So a request to our guests, whenever I call you out, just stand up from wherever you are and tell us a bit about yourselves and how you've come to know about Toastmasters. Right, so we'll start with Sir over here, please.
Good evening everyone. My name is Balraj and I am from JP Nagar, Bangalore. So I came to know about Toastmasters way back. So 2.5 years ago I had visited here, but unfortunately due to work schedules I couldn't join the club. And I heard that this is one of the oldest clubs in Bangalore and it's a very good place to learn. And especially community learning is a very required learning mode, what I say. So in our education or in our work environment, we keep learning one or the other way. But community learning is the most essential thing because we learn from each other. So we learn by participating. So we have today many YouTube videos, we have many online things. I'm also an educator, so I'm a L&D coach certified. But still, I feel that community learning is an essential thing. So I want to be a learner here first and then try to train others. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Banraj, and I can make out that we already have a lot to learn from you. Moving on to our next guest, Kushal. Yes.
Good evening everyone, I am Kushal. I work at Accident Capital Advisors. We are a registered investment advisor and I work as a portfolio analyst. I got to know about this Meccan club through a friend who used to attend a Toastmasters near Varaprasad. So yeah, I was interested about how the approach was and how we should come out of our comfort zone to express ourselves. So I wanted to explore that part.
Welcome to both our guests, and I hope you have a good time in our meeting today as well. So moving on, let us have the minutes of the previous meeting number 1289 from our Secretary Toastmaster Latha.
Good evening one and all. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1289 which was held on 4th November 2024. Theme: Marathon through the ages. Word of the week: prudent. The business session started at 6:20 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Shivaprasad. In the business session, the following points were addressed. Vice President Education Toastmaster Pavni CR mentioned the open and book roles for the next week, that is for the meeting number 1290. The Linkers meeting will be conducted on the 16th of November 2024 with 20 Toastmasters at Transcend Toastmasters located in Yelichanahalli. She asked the members to vote on their availability for the meeting. Sergeant-at-Arms Toastmaster Shreya started the meeting with an introduction on the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Shivaprasad. President Toastmaster Shivaprasad opened the meeting by speaking on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sachin. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Sachin spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers. Role: Timer, DTM MU Bhatt, R Counter Toastmaster Shreya, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Pavni, Grammarian Toastmaster Madhusudhan. The prepared speech session had the following speakers. Speaker number 1 Toastmaster Jia, attempting her level 1 project 2, Evaluator Toastmaster Apoorva. Speaker number 2 Toastmaster Chetan, attempting level 2 project 2, Evaluator Toastmaster Raja. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Pavni with the following speakers. Speaker DTM MU Bhatt, Toastmaster Madhusudhan, Toastmaster Apoorva, Toastmaster Raja, Toastmaster Latha, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, DTM K Prabhakara, Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma, Toastmaster Shreya, Toastmaster Sake, our guest Divya, Sampreet and guest Akshay. The general evaluation was conducted by DTM K Prabhakara. The winners of the week were announced by President Toastmaster Shivaprasad Sharma, and the winners were Best Role Taker TAPG Toastmaster Shreya Rao and DTM MU Bhatt. Best Role Taker MTG DTM K Prabhakara. Best Table Topic Speaker Toastmaster Varaprasad. Best Prepared Speech Speaker Toastmaster Chetan Vashish and Best Evaluator Toastmaster Varaprasad. The President closed the meeting followed by the national anthem, and the meeting link number 1289 is in the minutes of the meeting for you to read. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha. Are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the previous meeting? If not, I shall consider them as accepted. Before that, I think we have one more guest in the room. So I request our guest to just stand up from wherever he is and tell us a little bit about himself and how he came to know about Toastmasters.
Yeah, my name is Shreya. So, yeah, I'm working as a software engineer. Basically, I got this information from internet. I think I contacted the person, Sindhu. Yeah, so thank you. Thanks for having us.
Well, with that, I declare meeting number 1290 open. ಈಗೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ hero? What will your hero do next? The popular line from the Kannada movie KGF chapter 1 kept us hooked to that movie because the character asked this question thanks to the conflict that was there in the movie. The hero seemed to have failed and the villain seemed very, very powerful. And thanks to this conflict, the audience that was watching it were at the edge of their seats till the very end and were waiting. What is Rocky Bhai going to do? And what is the director cooking up for us? And speaking of cooking, reminds me of another story. This is a much older one than KGF. There's this dysfunctional joint family. And at the head of the joint family is an aged man, an elderly man, who just hates all of his sons and his daughters-in-law. They can't even make him a good cup of tea in the morning, and they can't even manage to keep a servant constant for a good period of time. No servant who joins this home as a cook or as a servant is able to survive because he's mistreated and he ends up leaving. You have a conflict right there. And then there are the sons of this old man. One man is a drunkard, another man is a hard worker, but he doesn't like the other families in the house. Somebody is lazy, somebody has doubts, suspicion about somebody who wants to steal something, somebody's daughter doesn't want to work. And on top of all this, there is an orphan who has lost both her parents, and she is in love with one of her teachers. And everybody knows that if she wanted to marry him, she would not be allowed. And in this sea of conflicts, such a sea of conflicts, our director of this movie drops in the protagonist. His name is Raghu. He just shows up one fine day at this house, voluntarily offering to be the cook or the chef, which is literally the name of the movie. He then goes on to cook brilliantly for the family. He charges very little, but he is also a very educated person. He keeps out giving pearls of wisdom to these family members, keeps resolving their misunderstandings, their differences, keeps helping them, keeps them cheerful. And after a certain point, the family members realize that we are one family and we have to coordinate with each other, help each other, be compassionate, solve our own problems instead of fighting amongst ourselves. And they start to fall in love with this new cook who has come into their house, who is giving them constant pearls of wisdom every now and then. And then, at a certain point, an incident happens when a big box kept in the grandfather's room seems to disappear. And everybody wonders if it was the cook who did it. And it turns out the cook did it with a brilliant intention to make the boy, who the family thought was not going to marry this orphaned girl, for the family to like him and to end up in their marriage as well. And finally the family realizes that the thousands of conflicts they had amongst themselves, this one man who offered to be their cook has come in and resolved all these conflicts for them. And the audience that is watching this movie is thoroughly hooked because conflict after conflict after conflict keeps coming and he keeps solving them. And the audience loves this hero, they relate to him. Movie I'm talking about is none other than the 1972 movie called Balaji, starring Rajesh Khanna, directed by Hrishikesh Mukherjee, and it was remade, which itself was a remake of a Bengali film, and which was remade in several languages, and you have a Kannada version starring Sudeep as well. Fellow Toastmasters, that is how important conflict is in your story. Conflict is like the salt in your sambar. Conflict is what keeps your audience hooked to the screen, or your readers to turn another page and read your book, or your listeners to keep listening to the speech that you're giving. Conflict is what is probably the most important thing in a story. And conflict is probably what makes your audience sit on the edge of their seats and ask the next question. What is your hero going to do next? And speaking of heroes, reminds me of a local hero, nevertheless, for Mekon Communication Club. And I've just learned that he's taken up the role of MC almost 3 times. I mean, 3 times this term itself. So he's been like a savior to our club, to our meetings. And to be precise with you, they say goals need to be precise. And one of his goals is similar to the theme of today, which is to become a better storyteller through Toastmasters. He's also a construction technologist working at Autodesk in Bangalore. He's also an excellent barista, enjoys doing CrossFit and going to the gym. He's also our master of ceremonies for today. Please give it up for Toastmaster Raj.
Thank you, Shiva, for such a great introduction. Now I'm wondering what I'm going to speak in storytelling. He spoke everything. In 1998, we moved to a new city. And in that new city, kids were flying the kites. So I was very fascinated by that. So I went and asked my dad, "Dad, can you please buy me a kite?" He said, "If you get first rank in the examination, I will buy you a kite." I said, "Okay," and I started studying. I used to get like second rank in the examination, but I studied very hard. And in the next examination, I got first rank. Because the guy who usually gets first rank got bitten by a dog, he didn't show up for the exam. So since he didn't show up, I got that, and I did not tell my parents. So I went and told my dad, "Dad, I have got first rank, now buy me a kite." Then he bought a kite, and I really loved that particular kite, and I was playing with that kite in my terrace. It was so precious to me, I don't want to lose that kite. And during the kite game, people will have a fight between 2 kites. And if one thread of one kite touches the other kite, and if there is a fight that happens, one will fly away, and only one will remain. So I don't want to get into the fight. I said, like, I will fly my kite in this location where nothing is over here, so I will enjoy my kite because it is so precious to me. I don't want to lose in a fight and then it just flies away, and again I have to get first rank in the next examination. It's not going to happen. So I was doing that. And as I was flying the kite, I felt that there is another thread touching my particular thread. And I'm looking at the sky, I see there's no kite over there. And what is happening? And at a very long distance, I'm seeing a kite which is huge, and also it has a very long tail. And this kite, if it has a long tail, it means they are preparing the thread for that particular kite. And if they are preparing the thread for that particular kite, you can't fight with that kite. It is not allowed as per the rules of kite games, or when they are doing it in the city, right? But since it is precious, I left the thread. As I am loosening the thread, it got cut, and that kite flew away. Now I knew that these guys are going to come to my house, so I'm immediately taking the kite down. I put it in the terrace, and then I went to the downstairs, and I'm waiting in the gate. And 4 or 5 guys came. They said, "Hey, did you see someone over here who was flying the kite?" I said, "No, I did not see anyone. There was nobody over here." Then they said, no, someone was flying over here. I asked what happened. They said, "No, that guy has cut our kite." I said, "That is bad. Who did that?" "I saw someone flying a kite at the corner of this road. You go and check." So all of them went to the corner of the road. And for the next 2 months, I did not fly that kite. And after that, I changed the kite. I made some sketch marks. I spray painted it. And after that, I slowly started playing the kite.
So in this story, I want to ask, where did you find the conflict in this particular story?
When you cut the kite of the next person, because it was like a problem.
When you lied that it wasn't you.
Sorry?
When you lied that it wasn't you, probably like you didn't want that conflict or them coming and like telling you things.
Okay, anybody wants to?
When you told you hit the truth to your dad that you got first time because the other student was bitten by the dog. You didn't want a conflict over there. You didn't tell them the truth.
Okay, so the right answer is what Sindhu gave, right? Because I really valued that particular kite. Okay, now I don't want it to lose. And audience knew that I valued that because I put in so much effort into that for getting that particular kite. And now it is cut. So that's the conflict that happened in this particular story.
Is consciousness is a conflict?
Okay, so I'll come to that. That's a very good question. I'll be coming to that. I'm talking about the internal conflict that people have within themselves. So, talking about that, there are two types of conflict. One is the external conflict, the other one is internal conflict. So, there is one person who wanted us to overcome this conflict of, can I be a speaker? So, everybody had that. So, I had that, can I be a speaker 2 years back when I started Toastmasters. So, and he started Toastmasters in the year 1924, Santa Ana, California, and the first club was formed. And now we have more than 14,000 clubs across 148 countries and more than 270,000 members are there. Megon was formed in the year 1998 and we have our founding member here with us today. And every Toastmaster meeting has three sections. The first one is the prepared speech section where the speaker needs to speak for between 5 to 7 minutes. The next one is the table topic section where a topic will be given and you need to speak between 1 to 2 minutes. And the last one is the general evaluation session. To help me with this meeting, we have few TAPG role takers. So first I would like to call upon timer Toastmaster Bhavana.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. So I'll be today's timer, and as the timer, I'll be timing today's speeches, table topics, as well as the evaluations. For the speeches, at 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card, and then at 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, and then at 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. For the table topics, at 1 minute, I'll raise the green card, at 1 minute 30 seconds the yellow card, and then at 2 minutes the red card. For the evaluations, at 2 minutes I'll raise the green card. For at 2 minutes 30 seconds I'll raise the yellow card, and at 3 minutes I'll raise the red card. And I would request, and to be eligible for the ribbon, I would request all the Toastmasters to not exceed the time limit by more than 30 seconds. I'll give my report at the end.
Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sachin, who has taken the role of our counter.
Good evening everyone, I'm Sachin. So I'll be the R counter role for today. So I'll be looking at fillers like R and also I'll be observing the repeated words and also pauses. And I'll give my report at the end of the meeting.
Now I would like to call upon our PP evaluator, Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We all love storytelling. It's something that we want to try, experience and tell others our own stories and what we love about. And when we tell a story, sometimes we may cause some conflict to another person in forms of our opinions about certain aspects like sex, religion and politics. For that one reason, I would ask you to avoid speaking about sex, religion, politics today and any other future Toastmasters meeting. This is one. Second, please keep your phones on silent and enter and exit the room only during an applause and avoid cross-talking at all costs. I'll give my report in the general evaluation. Back to you.
Now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa to explain his role on Grammarian.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome, regards. When I took up the job of a grammarian, it came to my mind how the grammar word has been derived. Just like a news is derived from north, east, west, and south, how it is revised. For my surprise, I got this as grammar spelling is Grammer. G stands for growth, R real, A attitude, M man, M mind, A ample, R range. So that is how the grammar has been derived in the dictionary. A grammar is art and skill of writing and speaking. I will make note of the usage of good words and not so good words. I request all the participants and speakers to use the word of the week called envisage. The sentence I would like to form, other than that what has been written there, is I envisage my company to touch a turnover of 100 crores in the year 2025 and 26. So you can use a word envisage in your this thing. I will give my report when I called during general evaluation. Thank you very much.
Alright, now let's get into the first section. Before I call upon the speaker, I would like to call upon her evaluator, DTM K Prabhakara, to read out the project guidelines.
The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different types of negotiation and strategies that can be used when negotiating. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a past or future negotiation in their life. Notes to the evaluator, that's me. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about different negotiation styles and strategies reflected on past or future negotiation in their life. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech about a negotiation in their life. The speech may be humorous, informational, or crafted in any style that appeals to the member and supports the speech content. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Negotiate the Best Outcome project. Over to Toastmaster.
The speaker I'm about to introduce, she enjoys reading and traveling. She loves art, different types of art, music, dance, painting. When I met her for the first time, she said she wanted to improve public speaking, and looking at her speeches, every time she comes and gives a speech, there is a story she built crafts into that, which I even remember till today. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Shreya with a speech titled The Power of Negotiation. The Power of Negotiation, Toastmaster Shreya.
Negotiation is an art, or so my dad says. But who am I to argue with him when he's had big time negotiations with big time clients? Who am I to argue with him, right? Whenever he hits me with this line, I like to introspect and think about the times when I've had negotiations in my life and what I've learned from those experiences. For example, I negotiate with my mentor at Toastmasters every week to decide whether we should have the mentoring call at 8 p.m. or 11 p.m. on Sunday night. On a more serious note, in July of this year, my department club hosted its first national level hackathon. And as a member of the PR team of this club, it is my responsibility to obtain sponsorships. So with zero experience in marketing or speaking to corporate professionals, I very confidently dialed up all 10 numbers in my list of contacts. Most of the companies that I spoke to outright rejected me with a no. And some of them promised to get back to me, but never did. But there was this one company who was very interested in what we had to offer, and they were offering a sponsorship, a cash sponsorship of 90k rupees. That's a lot of money, and that's exactly what we were looking for, so it was very important for me to secure this deal. I spoke to the company people, and they only had one requirement. 15 projects in our hackathon had to be developed using a specific technology. But here's the catch. That technology is not very commonly used by students nowadays. But this sponsorship was very important to us. So I discussed with my team and I decided to make a counter offer to them. Sir, that technology that you want is not very commonly used nowadays by students. So would you maybe consider either changing the technology or reducing the number of projects that we want? And after a bit of discussion with his team, he came back to me with, yeah, we are ready to reduce the number of projects, but the sponsorship amount also will reduce to 70K. And just like that, I had scored my first sponsorship deal. Understanding the goal of my team to somehow get money and the goal of the company to find projects with this specific technology helped me word my negotiation in such a way that it convinced him to take up my counter offer. This led to a win-win situation, which is one of the outcomes that a negotiation can have. And in this situation, I use the style of negotiation called compromise. And this is where both parties make concessions in order to find some middle ground. Speaking of compromises, there is one thing that I personally cannot compromise on, and that is my sleep. I am not a morning person. And this has cost me so much that every day I'm so late for college that I'm literally traveling on the stairs of the beloved BMTC bus, holding onto the railings for dear life. One day in my second semester, I was so late for college that I ran to my bus stop. Now, at this bus stop, I saw a new bus there today, 201. This bus went to Banshankari. And all buses that go to Banshankari also go to my college stop because it's just the previous stop. So I didn't even bother confirming, I just got on the bus. The bus was so crowded and I am so small that the conductor didn't see me and I didn't end up getting a ticket. Now, whenever I travel to college, the buses always go straight through Devagowda petrol bunk. So imagine my absolute horror when this bus took a left. I was not going to college anymore. A quick look at Google Maps showed me that I actually was never going to go to my college stop. I ended up getting off at Banshankari with only 7 minutes left to somehow find an auto, go to college, and then walk to class. I went up to the first auto I saw. Anna, Diana Sagar College of Engineering. He said, 80 rupees Kodama. Give me 80 rupees. It doesn't even take me 80 rupees to go from my house to college, let alone from Banshankari. Adala Agala, Uber and Lori is come here. That is too expensive. Look at how cheap it is in Uber. He took this, succumbed to this massive stroke of intelligence by me, and he reduced the price to 70 rupees. Now, if this was Shiva, I know he would have taken this deal and gone in the auto. But I decided that I would rather miss college than pay 70 rupees to travel 1.5 kilometers. So I walked away. This is another outcome of negotiation, walking away. And on that day, I learned the importance of knowing when to walk away. Because the very next order that I got took me to college for 30 rupees. Fellow Toastmasters, we don't always get what we want from a negotiation. Sometimes we need to know when to back away. Because the first step in negotiation is defining your goals and figuring out what you want to compromise on or what is your limit. So whether you offer up a counter offer to get 70K or walk away from a deal to save 50 rupees, the most important thing is knowing what you want and what you don't want. And if you know this, then you're already one step closer to becoming a better negotiator. Because, or should I say artist? Because at the end of the day, negotiation is an art. Thank you, and back to MC.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for such a great speech on negotiation. One auto guy, I asked him how much it is you drop me, in that particular location. He said 100 rupees. I said 120. Now he's confused. But the negotiation stopped there.
Did you go? Did you take the talk?
Alright, our next speaker, before I call upon the next speaker, I would like to call upon his evaluator Toastmaster Chetan to read out the project guidelines.
The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. Notes for the evaluator. The member completing this project is focusing on using stories in a speech or crafting a speech that is a story. The member may use any type of story, personal, well-known fiction, or one of their own creation. Listen for a well-organized speech that is a story or includes a story. Thank you, and best of luck to this meeting.
The second speaker is a director in Bosch, and he loves music and old movies. And though he likes to spend time with his friends, he enjoys being in solitude. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Varaprasad with the speech titled "The Threads of My Life." The Threads of My Life, Toastmaster Varaprasad.
One day, in a quiet village, a boy, returning back from the school, brimmed with the joy, filled with the joy and mischiefs, called out, "Amma, Amma," while he's stepping into the house, just to meet with unexpected welcome, seeing his mother is visibly angry. She just asked him, "Why did you do that?" Furious, and then she started striking him, asking, "Why did you do that? Can you explain?" Soon he's been rescued with the close family friends next door, and they asked my mother, "Why are you beating him? I found money in his pocket, and he's stolen this from his father's pocket." Immediate response, the whole family there, they started defending him, insisting, "No, he's a good boy. He will never do that." Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, I vividly recall the incident in school days. Found that it was being a ploy to tarnish the reputation of the boy, as he was always prized in the family. Eventually, truth, justification surfaced, and then mother found that he was innocent. Another interesting incident, I think it was in 6th or 7th standard. One day, PT master started beating blue and black to him upon a complaint received by a classmate that he made some caste-based remarks. No clue, again, but this boy started crying, overheard by cousin sisters studying in the next class, informed the family. Next day, morning, younger brother of the dad and uncle, came to him, asked, in front of all the family members, "Hey Prasad, did you do it?" "No," firmly said. All trusted him. The uncle went on, promptly met the headmaster, narrated this story. And headmaster said, "He's a good boy. He will never do that." Inquiry started. Soon they realized this was a false complaint, and PT master regretted for his timorous reaction and convinced with the academic diligence and integrity of the boy, This really built a strong connection with the teachers, had earned the reputation to the boy. Yeah. Moving on, an interesting story when the top performing boy suddenly or almost failed in first group. He enrolled into the PU in the city, got the most expected freedom, started exploring his love with the movies, bunking classes. The news soon reached the mother. Despite of all these rumors and news, mother kept unwavering belief on the boy. And she started spending more time with the boy, explaining the stories of the successful people, especially in the family. One of her cousin brother, who really achieved and working as a professor in spite of all numerous challenges, put boy again towards a true journey, and he could pull back and do well in that second. Fast forward, one day in office, all are busy, excited, because the team and he has to present an automated lab for a validation to Big Boss. Big Boss was even eager. Demo started, manual mode started, modules are running. Team started kind of joy and switched to automated mode. Team almost in celebration. Message prompted in the screen, automated mode abort. Boss was angry, just looked at everybody and just walked away. He has a choice to make now. He looked at the team, just told, check what happened and took a break. After some time, one team member came approaching him with sorry face, said, I made a mistake. He was the one who configuring the whole flow. Made him very angry. Had a choice to choose between either stimulus reaction or thoughtful response. Took a choice of collaboration, tried to deliberate, sat with him and deliberate, and soon found out that that fellow had an emergency, personal emergency because of family accident or somebody, and he did things in hurry. Eventually, after motivating, he could rebuild everything, got an appointment with the Big Boss, the program launched successfully. This just reminds me a story of Hanuma, who was only capable to cross the sea, has to be reminded and praised a lot, do the same. His job was to just find whereabouts Sita, but he went beyond that by the trust of Vanaras, his fellow Vanaras and Rama. He just found Sita, but still went and waged a little small war with Ravana, went to Sabha, put a psychological stress on him, asking him to do it, and instilled a fear in the whole Lanka and people by lighting every house. The fear that if one Vanara can do so much, imagine whole Vanara Sainya lands up, our army lands up in Lanka. All these threads, stories are threads in my life by parents, by father, mother, or the teachers, created a strong emotional bond and instilled a sense of purpose. Truth justified. All this earned by the boy that he's a good boy. He'll never do that again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varaprasad, for such a great speech and giving insights into different moments in your life.
I can understand the moments in 80s and 90s, right, as a kid. You see, the concept of grounding was not invented yet. All you get is a whooping, right? Alright. Before I call upon the next speaker, I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Sindhushree, to read his project guidance.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latha. The purpose of this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. Notes for the evaluator, that's me. The member completing this project is working to add humor to a speech through anecdotes and stories. The speech should not be a report on the content of Know Your Sense of Humor project. Thank you and all the best to the speaker.
Our third speaker works at Sandesk and he loves Carnatic music and also table tennis. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Balaji C S with the speech title, My Tryst with the Sambar Vada. My Tryst with Sambar Vada, Balaji C S.
Show me your friends, I will show who you are. Posted one of my friends when we were in college. I guess he wanted few Facebook likes. I replied, show me what you are having, I will take half of it. Dear Toastmasters and welcome guests, I am a foodie. I love food. I have no qualms about it. Of all the food, the one thing I really like is this medu vada. This amazing medu vada, which is like very nice on the outside and it's also nice on the inside. The one thing which I really hate is when these so-called smart people call the vada as the Indian donut. Let me tell you something. Vada is nothing like a donut. It's so much better. Dear Toastmasters, I have been in Bangalore for almost 10 years. I have nothing against the city. Actually, I owe a lot to the city. My first job, a lot of new friends, Toastmasters, and even the basic salary required to upload your profile in matrimony.com. All these things came from Bangalore only. But there is one thing which I have never been able to wrap my mind around. I really love Bangalore tiffin. Okay, I don't love it. Okay, I can do with Bangalore tiffin. I am okay with the soft idlis. I also like the dosas. One thing I can't wrap my mind around is the fact that you don't get aloo with puri unless you specifically ask for it. They always give you sagu for some reason. But everything is fine. But there is this one thing I just cannot adjust to even after 10 years in Bangalore. I know it takes a lot of courage standing in the heart of Bangalore near Basambudi and saying this. How many of you like Bangalore sambar here? Please, the show of hands. Good for you. I don't. The fact is, I feel sambar cannot be sweet. It needs to be spicy and flavorful. Dear Toastmasters, I never realized this suppressed emotion of mine was going to come back and bite me one day. As you might all know, basically I'm a goofy guy and I'm not really very sophisticated. And I have this bad habit of cracking lame jokes at the most inappropriate times. I never realized this was going to be a problem. Suddenly one day my parents came and told, Balaji, you need to stop being like that because we are going to find a girl for you and it's time for you to get married. Suddenly overnight, I was supposed to act like this adult, mature adult and be all sophisticated. Long story short, I finally found this amazing girl whom I fell in love with and even for some reason she also liked me. I still But anyways, it was great. But there was this very important step in the process of marriage. I had to go and meet the girl's parents. My dad took me aside and told me, no jokes. Please keep all your instincts to yourself and just, act like an adult. Dear Toastmasters, for some reason, my parents thought that if I was being my true self, probably the girl's parents would not be too open to the marriage. I was really nervous and I was in no mood to disobey my father. And I didn't want to be that guy who cracked a lame joke and his marriage got called off. So I was extremely nervous. And I reached Chennai and we went to this very famous hotel in Chennai and we exchanged pleasantries. I was extremely stoic. I was having a poker face and I didn't talk to anybody unless I was spoken to. Everything was going great. I thought this is pretty simple, I'm going to ace it. Then the bad thing happened. While talking about the marriage function and all that, my dad ordered a sambar vada for some reason. That place had tandoori, Chinese, Indo-Chinese, North Indian, South Indian, everything. But he had to order the sambar vada. Anyways, I think that's where things started going downhill. Dear Toastmasters, all of the members except me were very intensely talking about the marriage plan, and I was thinking about the sambar vada. Swiftly, the server came and kept the sambar vada in front of my father. My father had the audacity to not even give the respect to the sambar vada. He kept on talking about the marriage plans. I was trying very hard not to look at it, but before I could stop myself, I took a spoon, went to the sambar vada, took a huge chunk and put it in my mouth. After this, a series of events unfolded which was extremely embarrassing for me. My dad finally looked at the plate and before I could realize, he shouted at the server, "What is this? You have given me half-eaten sambar vada. This is how you run your hotel." I was still having the vada in my mouth. I was trying to swallow it as soon as possible, but before that there was a huge commotion and finally I took a huge gulp. "Appa, please, I only had it." There was a silence for a couple of seconds. And after that, people broke into laughter. Dear Toastmasters, I never realized this love of my life, other than my wife, I meant, sambar vada would become the biggest enemy in my life. And to add to the insult, the insult to injury, the server also started laughing along with these people. I guess he wanted some extra tips, so he was acting all cool and friendly. But anyways, that was a very horrendous day for me. Fast forward 4 years, surprise, no surprise, I am married to my wife, and of course that vada did not stop anyone from calling off the wedding. But recently, I had a talk, or rather I was hanging out with my brother-in-law, and he told me something very interesting. He told me, "You know what, that sambar vada incident made me feel really at ease about you being a part of our family." I was wondering why. Then he told, before the sambar vada came and got served, you were acting all aloof. And I really didn't know that if you were the right fit for my sister. But after that, when you were feeling embarrassed, then I realized this is a normal guy, and I'm pretty sure we can get along very well. Dear Toastmasters, this whole incident just told me one thing. It's just your core instincts or your core nature can never be changed. If you are a foodie, you are going to be a foodie. And another important thing is, I feel it's good for everyone to be authentic. If people like you, great. If people don't like you, you can probably have a sambar vada and be done with them. Okay, rather, let me rephrase. If people don't like you, have sambar vada if you are in Chennai, have plain vada if you are in Bangalore. This, dear Toastmasters, is my tryst with sambar vada. Thank you.
If some of you are hungry after the speech, snacks is after the table topic. So you need to wait. Before I call upon the table topic master, I want to share the conflict in storytelling team. I want to share some more on that. So the first one, so we talked about, and Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa also talked about consciousness. You can think there are two types of conflicts. One is external conflict, the another one is internal conflict. So the external conflict can happen between a person and a person. So when I saw the image in WhatsApp, so it is between a boy and a girl, or a husband and a wife. So that is between a person, right? Or what they show in the movies. The next one is between a person and a nature. You might have seen movies where there is between a person and a nature, and the next, the third one is within the person, which is the internal conflict. Okay, so I'm going to share one story, Kung Fu Panda. Let me see a raise of hands. How many of you have seen this movie, Kung Fu Panda? Okay. Anybody wants to take a jab at what is the external conflict and what is the internal conflict in that movie?
He'll not be confident about himself. At the end of the movie, he'll get confident. That was the internal power they tried to show.
That's good, Apoorva. Yeah. So at the start of the movie, right, you can see that the panda thinks that, am I eligible to be one of the Kung Fu master over here, and it makes fun of itself. So there is no worthiness that it felt inside, right? But at the end of the movie, where the external conflict is, it needs to fight with Thailand, right, and defeat that particular tiger, right? So that is like the external conflict. The internal conflict is, the tiger says, "You are nothing but a big fat panda," and then it says, "I am not just a big fat panda, I am the big fat panda," and then it does that. So you can see the character arc going from this in the internal conflict to a different person. And the conflict are the engine in storytelling. If you don't have conflict, if you see a boy and a girl, they like each other, they get married, no conflict. Boy and a girl is there, and then girl's father comes in. There is conflict, right?
So you need to add conflict in storytelling. How do you add that is, it is not as complex as you think you can add. You value something, there is an obstacle to that, right? It can be any story, like when you come and speak here about any of your stories, think of this. Let's say, for example, you like to keep your room clean. That is something that you value. Now you have a roommate who is the opposite of that. Now you have a story. There is a conflict that happens over there. You like to cook on your, by yourself, but your friend or your wife says, let's go and eat outside. There is a conflict that's happening. So even your simple stories, you can add these conflicts to make it interesting. So with that, let me call upon today's table topic master, who's a BCom graduate and a consultant and advisor on financial services. And he likes to meditate and read books. That is his hobbies. And whenever he comes on behind the lectern and he speaks, there's always an information that he shares that we can take away. With that, let's put our hands together to welcome Toastmaster Vijay Upendra as a table topic master.
Thank you, MC, for your wonderful introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome guests. Because we are running out of time, straight away I will enter into the topics and we'll start off. Perfection means doing the best. Confidence means handling the worst. Perfection means doing the best. Confidence means handling the worst. Goes to Toastmaster Madhusudhan.
That's a detailed topic. Thank you so much. I have to think a lot for it. Perfection means doing the best. And that is the truth. And what's the second part of it?
Confidence means
handling the worst. Now, whenever someone says confidence is handling the worst, my mind immediately goes back to my college days back in BMS. So we have this fest called as Utsav. It comes around every even semester, I think, sometime in April. And in my third year, I was a part of the organizing committee. So so the job is broken down and different sets of people have handled different things. I was a part of the main stage group where you have to make sure the lights are on, the sound and the music play whenever the DJ asks for it, or someone wants to go on stage, just press the sound, whatever. And that year especially was the year of this movie called as Taguru. So I'm sure all of you might know the song. And turns out that I didn't know how to handle the situation. The MC asked for the song because I think some actress from the movie had come and we had no music to play. And somehow we're like, no, we have no music. But somehow someone plugged in and later we were able to play the song, but that was the worst because I was literally tense and you have all these seniors who can come and blast you, so I don't like getting scolded. So, but still, I was confident enough. I was like, okay, I have it in my phone, plug it into the laptop, somehow play it, and somehow it went on. I mean, I don't know, this is a very disjointed story, but I'm just saying it. Thank you so much.
Very well handled. Next topic is success is never ending. Happiness is ever eluding. Success is never ending. Happiness is ever eluding. Goes to Toastmasters Sai Snehal.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. If you recall from Raja's story about how he got the kite, all he had to do was get the first rank in his class, and that enabled him to get a kite. So now he put the success to a materialistic object where that derived him happiness. But was he happy after that? He was happy for a short while. What kept him happy after a while? Hiding the kite for 2 more months. Because he wanted the kite to be with himself.
if you see this part of it, when you are successful in a goal that you have achieved, you are happy for a short duration. What you do after that, after achieving the goal, is what keeps you happy. Most of the time we tie ourselves to a certain goal and say, I'll do this and I'll be happy after that. But that's not the real story. The real story starts after you achieve the goal. I think many times on LinkedIn, a lot of people who can say, today I did this and I'm extremely happy. And you just check with them once in a while, and if you check and if they respond back, 90% of them are not happy with what they have done in that particular message that I've put across. So there's a conflict in their own story. They say this is successful, I'm successful, and they're not happy after it. It's a very rare combination to be happy and successful. And if you have found that part of it, God bless you. Back to you.
Very good articulated, Sai. Next topic is, no one wants to take the stairs. Everyone wants to use the elevator. No one wants to take the stairs. Everyone wants to use the elevator. Goes to Toastmaster Gajendra.
I got the elevator. I mean, who does like to take the stairs? I mean, when you're going down the stairs, everyone like enjoys going down the stairs. But imagine coming, Sai Snehal came from his work, the looks and the lift is not working. I think he'll go back home and stop attending. So I would have actually done that once, not here, somewhere else. I didn't attend college because the lift was there, not working. And I had to climb like 6 floors. And I was late because I didn't wake up early. And I didn't envisage this topic. I feel like taking the stairs, I'm going to go more philosophical into this one. Yeah, I see my mentor's proud. Taking the stairs is like doing the hard work and reaching some goal. And taking the elevator is the easiest way to reach a place. For example, I recently saw one, I'm getting into fitness, irony, but yeah, I recently saw one YouTube video where people take steroids to reach their goal, and a few people like they gym like for 4-5 years to like get a good body, and yeah, the easy part was to take steroids, and the difficult part was to gym 6 years and like get a body. It is completely philosophical, but it doesn't match this one. But yes, I think I have nothing else to say.
You have added humorously and then practical application very well brought to the topic. Thank you. Next topic is, discern before desiring, demonstrate before demanding. Discern before desiring, demonstrate before demanding. Goes to Toastmaster Latha.
Just repeat the topic once again. Reserve before designing and
Demonstrate before demanding.
first time I'm just standing over here and thinking what to talk. Very easy topic, thank you. Now deserve before demanding. What do I tell? I don't demand. I've never demanded because before even coming out of my mouth, it's come to me. So never demanded. So I feel like okay, whatever I want, I deserve it, and my parents give me. So this topic is closed. And the second topic. Okay, when you are getting everything what you want before even asking, then the second topic become invalid for me because I've never experienced it. So I would always tell people that keep your parents happy and make yourself worth of whatever you want and let your parents see that you're worth it. So they will get you whatever you want. So when these kind of topics come, you come behind the lectern, think for 30 seconds and then you talk whatever comes in your mind and you go back again. Thank you.
The next topic is, a complaining mind is never peaceful. A grateful heart is always peaceful. A complaining mind is never peaceful. A grateful heart is always peaceful. Goes to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Here the table topic master has used the two words. One is complaining mind, another one is
Grateful heart.
Grateful heart. Who complains? According to me, there are two types of people: proactive people and reactive people. What is the character of a reactive people? They keep on complaining. They feel bad when they feel good. They feel worst when they feel better. They want to see always the cracks in the mirror. They always feel light is meant for shadows, not for giving a light. They blame others for their failure. So they keep on complaining. You want to complain, do something, complain. That means their nature is like that. It is a character. You can't change the character which has been ingrained into the system. I have come across people, whatever they say, they start complaining rather than telling the good thing. Toastmaster is a platform wherein you learn, they talk about the good, then how to improve. That is how the Toastmaster has earned a name. I recommend all my people come to my factory, go and attend the Toastmaster and other thing. Grateful heart. You need to be, put your mind with peace, comfort, joy and happiness. Once again I repeat, how do you get your mind peace, comfort and joy and happiness? By doing meditation, by doing yoga, and not thinking of any other thing other than the goodness or the wellness of other things. So you can be grateful to her. Never avoid mingling with the people who hate you or who will this thing. Live in the present. Live in the present is the one thing which you can do to keep your heart greatness. Count your blessings, not your troubles. Please count your blessings, not your troubles. Be happy. Appreciate what you have with you rather than grumbling what you don't have. May God bless all of you and thank you very much.
Proactive and reactive, very well explained. Thank you. Next topic is, yesterday's success do not deserve today's applause. Yesterday's success do not deserve today's applause. Goes to Toastmaster Bhavana.
Good evening, everyone. So,
Yesterday's success do not deserve today's applause.
yeah. When I hear this statement, I remember that. I remember the first day I went to college. It was I was basically. When I mean college, I mean my first PU and second PU. Well, I was this. When I was like before 10th, I was this girl who was very good at physics. I really loved physics, and so I had a lot of expectations from myself. The moment I entered my first PU and second PU, I carried that baggage with me. I carried that ego, confidence, everything with me. I think that became overconfidence in some way, and so I became very lazy. And how is it related to the topic? I don't know. So I think I shouldn't have expected. I shouldn't have carried that ego with me. And people should always remember that, like whatever successes you achieve today,
you will again have to start from zero at some other point in life, because I remember, I used to learn violin. I remember one of my teachers, violin teachers, he always used to tell me, Bhavana, you have a very good fingering. But he always told me this as well, like wherever you are in life, there are always people who are above you and people below you. So you can never, so you can never carry that confidence, like overconfidence and ego with yourself. So yeah, I think that explains the topic. Thank you.
The next topic is the truth you resist or the battles you fight. The truth you resist or the battles you fight goes to Toastmaster K Prabhakara.
Truth you resist are the battles you fight. Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome. Yes. There are times when I am stuck with a dilemma. Dilemma like I'm cornered. The people in the bus are old people, older than me. Police caught saying that bus driver has entered through a wrong entry. It's dead night and the driver didn't care. We talked to him but got into the bus, drove through. Today in another junction, a group of policemen caught us. We thought that he has bulldozed through. The question at that time, dead of the night, was how to get out of it. The driver, this happened in Bihar, and Bihar law is not that great. So we didn't know what to do. The policemen were all dressed in a very battle kind of thing. Some of them perhaps even having guns in them. That was somewhere around 12:30 at night. We were returning to the hotel. The question at that time was, somebody was telling, 500 rupees, get out. I went there and he said, I want to see the license of the driver. I want to talk to the owner. 12:30, or older than me. The question is 500 rupees I should offer. And I was trying to drag on the conversation in a dilemma. The truth that I had to face was to pay or not to pay. Another friend who was just younger to me by a few years, he pulled out money and offered it this way, straight. I looked at him, he said, keep quiet. The policeman and the group said, sir, you go. Now my dilemma was overcome by somebody else, and the dilemma of facing that truth, I wanted to negotiate, saying that this is the thing, this you are traveling from Bangalore, this, that, didn't work. And this one worked straight. The question is whether I was on his side, am I right, the truth, or did I get over that situation? I had to do that. This dilemma is always there, and somehow I have not been able to shake it off. Over to Chetan.
Last topic of the day. Money cannot buy you happiness. People can bring you happiness. Money cannot buy you happiness. People can bring you happiness. Goes to Toastmaster Sachin.
So money cannot buy you happiness. So sometimes this reminds me of many celebrities, for example. They have a lot of money, yet they are depressed. Why? Because they are surrounded with toxic people, which also leads to my next point. It is very important that you surround yourself with the right people, because ultimately you can have all the money, but sometimes what happens is, if you get betrayed by someone, you automatically cannot enjoy yourself, right? So, for example, let me take one example. There's this football player called K Prabhakara. He recently got banned for doping, which was in the end proven as false. So he wasted his 2 careers just because of that. And he had this brother, I don't know his name, but he was extremely toxic towards him. And yes, he's a millionaire. He has a lot of money, and also when he got banned, so many people also stopped talking to him entirely due to this. So yeah, he had a lot of money, but at the end of the day, he didn't have many people that he could approach or even talk to. So this just goes to show you'll get to know your true friends when you're in your darkest period of your time. Yeah, thank you.
See, when I wrote these table topics, I had in my mind logic, reason and practical applicability part of it. All of you have risen to my expectation. You all deserve a big round of applause. With this, I come to the end of table topic. Back to MC of the day.
Last week, I asked the Toastmaster Bhavana, who's the table topic master? He said Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. I said, sign me up for MC. Because MC will be the last person to get the table topics. But big round of applause for the table topic master. With that, let's have a 10-minute break. Alright, let's get into the general evaluation session. And today's general evaluator, she's a BCom graduate and an interior designer. And she's a fitness enthusiast, and she loves traveling, and she's very health conscious. And she's also good at editing. And she once told a story where I was just thinking, what is the conflict in that? And I still remember the story where the Alexa was calling your son, and then where you wanted the value that over there at stake was like you wanted your son to call you first, right? So I'm just connecting with the conflict in storytelling. With that, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Conflict in storytelling. I got thinking about it. Why is there conflict in storytelling? Isn't it because of perspectives? For example, a glass half full of water. One person can envisage it as half empty, and the other person can envisage it as half full. It is all about perspective. And talking about perspective, today's general evaluation is my perspective of today's meeting. The meeting today started at 6:21, which is not bad, but let's try. Let's try to be on time, including myself. I request each and every member in the room and also all the members of Mekong Communication Club to be on time so that we can start at sharp 6:15 p.m. The business session had 2 announcements. Firstly, about the coming up joint meeting with Dhwani Toastmaster Club. I request each and every member of the club to actively participate and be present during the meeting, because we would be representing Mekong Communication Club on a stage. So request each of us, including me, to be present there to show our unity, being a part of Mekong Communication Club. Next, there was the role. Next week role takers announcement. Then the Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Chetan took over. He started his Sergeant at Arms address with the Rocky movie story, which was very engaging. The avid reader that he is always coming up successfully behind the lectern, coming up with stories which keeps us totally engaged week after week. Just a small suggestion that when you come on the stage, like our President Toastmaster Shiva, he started with a catchy phrase like "Igen Martare Nimiro." Igen Martare Nimiro. So come up with something like that. So when you kickstart, you are so strong that you grab everybody's attention. So if you do that, because you are a very good storyteller, all your stories are so interesting. Just that initial phrase or a line where you are successful in getting each and every member's attention, that would be a great start to the meeting. And today's the room setup was perfectly done, be it by you and by Toastmaster Shreya and our president as well. Next, which was followed by the president's address, and also the introduction of the guest and the minutes of meeting was read out, which was done then. Kudos to our president, Toastmaster Shiva, who's week after week, who's always on time, is part of every single element of the meeting. Like I know Toastmaster Pavni has hurt her leg. He was also there in assigning taking up helping her out, and then he's always there in helping us out in setting up the room. He's always present with his best formal wear, as well as giving the most interesting speeches. So kudos to him and a round of applause to Toastmaster. I'm not supposed to evaluate the president's speech, and also kudos to him for getting the flag done, as our dearest DTM AKP mentioned that getting the flag. He was after the long break, you got the flags ready for the club. Thank you for that. Then the charge was taken over by our Master of Ceremonies for the day, Toastmaster Raja, which I'll be speaking about at the end of the session. Now I would like to request each and everyone in the room to open the ballot and vote for the best table topic speaker and the best individual speaker. It is only for the members of the club.
One member, please vote only once.
Yeah, I also request each
that
of
has
you to
happened
vote only once.
recent times. They have opened multiple times.
Just open the ballot and vote for it. Don't submit it. That way we don't get multiple responses. Now, let me get to the individual evaluations. I would like to call upon individual evaluator of Speaker Toastmaster Shreya, DTM K Prabhakara.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Shreya in particular. The speech was about knowing what you want and what you don't want. And this is the key to negotiation. This is what the speech was about. And the negotiation is an art. That's what she was trying to say. There are different outcomes, win-win, win-lose, then compromise and walk away, and different styles in order to get to that issue. The styles are competitive, being competitive, accommodative, and compromise, and also collaborate. These are the styles that has to be adapted as an art depending on the situation. How well she did that through the sponsorship she was assigned to get as a project in the college, and she applied there the approach of compromise. That is, 90K was good, but doing a project with a technology that was not in vogue was difficult. So they wanted to do less number of projects. They said they will lose the money, and between that they arrived at a figure and reduced number of projects. That's about compromising, and both sides arrived at a sort of win-win. So that is one approach she demonstrated. And the second story was that she was, in the case of auto, she was really aggressive and competitive. She walked away. And walk away is the limit of the negotiation. And she was prepared to compromise on the going to the college and reaching the college a little late. And she really won as far as at that point of time she thought that the money was important. Perhaps she was trying to drive a point to the auto person that she won't compromise on certain principles. And it may be costing her something like reaching the college a little late, but she was not prepared to really compromise on that. So up there she applied the competitive aspect of negotiation, and she demonstrated through these two very well what she wanted to convey as to how to negotiate. And she was, I would say, she did it remarkably well. And there was the issue of opening body conclusion. It was there in place, and negotiation is an art at the end of the day, she said. Very well done. Keep it going. Over to General Evaluator.
A very detailed evaluation by Toastmaster DDM AKP. One suggestion, sir, you told where she excelled at, where she was good at. I would like to request you to give a point where she can challenge herself so that she can keep going to the next level.
I would, can I take a chance to reply?
Sure.
I could have done that, but that is not the issue here. She stuck to the almost 95% of the specification guidelines, and that is not easy to do. Very few can do that, and they fall short of that basic expectation. And she did that remarkably well. I can finger saying that eye contact was not good, voice could have been better. That has been told n number of times. But we should create an elbow room so that she can progress. And she is very creative. I don't want to curb that. So I have said, with your permission. Thank you very much.
I would request everybody to give a huge round of applause to the speaker. Now, I would like to call upon Evaluator Toastmaster Chetan to evaluate Toastmaster Varaprasad's speech.
Good evening, Toastmasters guests and Toastmaster Varaprasad in particular. Let's start with the good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed your facial expressions while you were giving each speech, right? While you were giving each story. The choice of expressions was apt for the mood you were facing, and the same goes with your body gestures and use of the stage as well. All of this you did aptly. You used as much of the stage as possible and narrated everything properly. Also, the conclusion of your speech helped us see the different threads of your life and how these different stories helped build you up to the man you are today. And finally, a structure of a good story has three parts. You have the setup, you have a conflict, and you have the resolution. And I think for all three stories, you nailed them. But here is some things that I think you can really work on. As an audience, we need to be invested in the story. The setup needs to give us more emotion. There has to be, I really needed something more. I think Toastmaster Balaji's speech was a great example of the setup. The juice needed before we feel the, yes. And even this, and second thing, you ate up certain words when you were speaking them. The most important parts of the conflict were eaten up. I found it very hard to concentrate during that phase. And since I'm an evaluator, I would put in the extra effort to figure that out. But if I'm the general audience, I would do the opposite. I think these are the two steps that I really urge you to work on. Firstly, the pronunciation of the important parts, and secondly, the build-up of the story along with maybe a slightly better punch that will come along with it later. And to challenge yourself, I think it's a bit extreme, but I would say you could try it again. You could try the whole speech again with more oomph. Thank you.
That I must say that was a evaluation with very keen observation. You have observed every single detail in a very detailed manner. So you clearly explained on the aspects where he excelled at, where he needs to work, and also a bit extreme challenge situation where he has to give a speech again. But very interesting take on it. Huge round of applause to Toastmaster Chetan and the individual speaker Toastmaster Varaprasad. Next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sindhushree, who is the evaluator of Toastmaster Balaji C S.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. Hello to my target speaker, Toastmaster Balaji. I must say it was an excellent speech, a lot of humorous-filled stories. In the matter of achieving the purpose of your project speech, you must have achieved like at least around the 80% of it. To speak about general category of what are the things that you excelled at, is picking out the topic of the speech or the title of the speech and picking out the theme of the speech. For example, some of the common themes in your speech is about talking about idli sambar, talking about your friends, talking about your family, talking about your father, talking about self-introspection as a foodie, and adding all the anecdotes related to all of these particular themes. So it was so easy for everybody in the audience to be engaged in the story that you're sharing with us and also feel the same thing that you are probably sharing with us. So on the part of being relevant and engaging, you aced very well. A great opening to your speech, a great storytelling techniques for yourself, because when you told us that your dad spoke to you in that particular table about the idli sambar, we all probably imagined something about what was happening or what is this guy. So everybody loves a guy who cracks lame jokes at inappropriate time, but I must say in this particular today, the timing was great. So some of the things where I would want to pick out on just nitpicking is to talking about what you could have excelled at. It is more like telling every sambar is great. What makes the Bangalore sambar great? Not just the salt, but also the perfect balance of the sour and the sweetness. In terms of getting your sour and sweet right, what you need to do is to add a little bit more pauses in your speech. In between every bite, you take a pause to savor the dish, right? You take a moment to taste that particular dish, irrespective of vada or sambar or anything else. In the same way, you should let your audience also let that sink in. Even though you're cracking a lot of jokes for us in terms of the city, in terms of the food, in terms of the father, you just kept on talking while the audience were laughing with you. So maybe just stand a moment, enjoy, and let that sink in and land better. And secondly, talking about the vocabulary of your speech. You're a seasoned Toastmaster for now. You've been with us for a long time. So what are some of the things that you could improve upon is Instead of finding difficulty in finding those words on how to express better, instead of knowing this, instead of doing that, you can find perfect words to express yourself a bit better, instead of depending on the jargons of the speech. And third, you used a lot of Dear Toastmasters. Dear Toastmaster, you know what I'm trying to say. Dear Toastmasters, you know this. Don't do that. We are here to listen to you. Don't waste to tell Dear Toastmaster 4 times in your speech. You don't have to. That is the third thing that you could excel at. So just nitpicking here and there. So what I would like to say in terms of how you can actually challenge yourself and work and improve upon it is the very first thing, practice a little bit more on your speech. The efforts are there, but efforts with direction makes a little bit more progress from where you are to what you can become. So what in terms of that you can do is spend a little bit more in terms of working on the speech, structure it better, give a takeaway message, work on your delivery, add pauses, use your stage. Apart from that, we love your speech, we love the guy who cracks joke, and we always love the guy of fellow food. Thank you so much, and back to you.
That was a great evaluation by Toastmasters Sindhushree, where she told it in a fun way, where he can improve and also challenge herself, and where she excelled at. It was almost like an icing on the cake, very sweetly done. A huge round of applause to Toastmasters Sindhushree and Toastmaster Balaji for the amazing. The next session was the table topic session. The table topic master for the day was Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. The whole session was a very intense session where the topics were all almost like a life learning topics. Everything, and also I must say there was a lot of effort put in, lot of thinking and effort put in, because you also mentioned about how you chose the topic, thinking about logic, reason and application. A huge round of applause for that. That was a huge effort by our table topic master. I would just ask you to challenge yourself by keeping the table topics a little short. Because the topics were too long, the speakers, when they came on the stage, they asked you to repeat multiple times, just to avoid that. And also simpler topics, so that few of the topics needed a lot of thinking. If they were a seasoned Toastmaster, they were very easy to come behind the lectern and give an instant reply. But if they were newcomers, it was difficult for them. So maybe a simpler topics and short topics will be your challenge for the next time you take up the role. And a huge round of applause for our table topic master. Now let me quickly jump into the TAPG roles. I would request timer Toastmaster Bhavana to give a report.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Well, as a person who loves physics, I've never been able to truly envisage the exact nature of time, but yet here I am giving the timer's report. Before I give my report for the day, I would like to tell that I'm really inspired by how speakers here actually stick to the time allotted. I just wish my lecturers in college also did the same. Okay, here's the report for today. The meeting commenced at 6:23 p.m. The business session took 2 minutes. Okay, and then the welcome by Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Chetan, took 2.5 minutes, while the allotted time was 2 minutes. President Toastmaster Shiva took 9 minutes, while the allotted time was 6 minutes. Coming to the speakers, Toastmaster Shreya, she took 6 minutes 7 seconds, while the allotted time was 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Varaprasad took 8 minutes 6 seconds, while the allotted time was 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Balaji took 6 minutes 4 seconds, while the allotted time was 5 to 7 minutes. The table topic session took 21 minutes, while the allotted time was 20 minutes. Coming to the evaluators, Toastmaster K Prabhakara took 2 minutes 52 seconds, while the allotted time was 2 to 3 minutes. Toastmaster Chetan took 2 minutes 35 seconds, while the allotted time was 2 to 3 minutes. Toastmaster Sindhushree took 3 minutes 15 seconds, while the allotted time was 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavana, for that precise timer report. Now I would like to call upon the counter for the day, Toastmaster Sachin.
So good evening everyone. So here's my report as the counter. First, coming to the role takers, Toastmaster Chetan, 1 pause. Toastmaster Shiva, 1 and 1 repeated word and. Toastmaster Raja, 3 A's, 2 and 1 pause. Toastmaster Bhavana, 1 A. Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, 1 A, 1 pause. Toastmaster Sai Snehal, flawless. Now coming to the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Shreya, 1 A, 1 repeated word and 1 pause. The evaluator speech, Toastmaster A K Prabhakara, 3 A's, 1 repeated word she. The second speaker, Toastmaster Varaprasad, 2 A's and 2 repeated words no and just and 1 pause. And second evaluator, Toastmaster Chetan, 3 A's. And the third speaker of the day, Toastmaster Balaji, 2 repeated words like and but. And the third evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sindhushree, 1 A and 1 repeated word so. Now coming to the table topic speeches, Vijay, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra, flawless. The first speaker, Toastmaster Madhusudhan, 3 A's, 1 repeated word some. Second speaker, Toastmaster Sai Snehal, 1 pause. Toastmaster Gajendra, 4 A's and 2 pauses. Toastmaster Latha, 1 repeated word so and 1 pause. Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, 2 A's and 1 repeated word than. And the next, Toastmaster Bhavana, 3 A's, 2 1 repeated word was and 1 pause. Next, Toastmaster A K Prabhakara, 2 A's, 1 repeated word want and 1 pause. And next, the general evaluator, Toastmaster Apoorva, 13 A's and 2 pauses.
A small correction, it's DTM A K Prabhakara, not Toastmaster. I know Toastmaster Sachin is very new, and also she can't be a repeated word because DTM A K Prabhakara sir is evaluating Toastmaster Shreya. He'll have to use the word she. So yeah, and huge round of applause for Toastmaster Sachin, who's taking up the role for the first time. Next, our Grammarian, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa.
Good evening once again. I have noted the usage of good words which generally don't use in our conversation. Such words only I have noted for your information. Participating, prudent, dysfunctional, salt in sambar, crafting, beloved bus stop, drafting, unwavering, emotional bond, matured adult, audacity, unfolded, toxics, and kudas. These are the words which we generally don't use that I have presented to you. See, always when we speak, we say backside. I think it is not correct. Back means back on the side, they will not decide. Similarly, I saw similar things I noticed in this thing. One is get back. Maybe I am not a professor in English. Just to my knowledge, I am sharing with you. Get to me is the correct one. Returning back, returning. One more thing is some introduced guest expose. Instead of that, learning is a better usage. That's my presenting this day. Word of the day. I envisage a lot of people use that. To my surprise, I find very few people using this word. If I am being my loss in hearing, I might not have missed those people. Kindly excuse me. Those people who used according to me is Gajendra and Apoorva. If anybody has used, kindly take it as this thing. So indeed, thank you very much.
Toastmaster Bhavana also used the word of the day. And yeah. Anybody else used it? And a huge round of applause to Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa. Now I would like to call upon the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. There were so many storytellers here today in form of prepared speech, table topic, and even evaluators who were evaluating the speakers. What I found is, in spite of couple of rings, none of them were interrupted by the notification of the phone. Kudos to all the speakers over here and when that phone rang. Apart from that, there were no conflicts in terms of sex, religion or politics. No one walked in or out and there was no cross-talking. I think it was a fantastic meeting and I hope this continues throughout unless there's an emergency sometime. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai Snehal. Now let me come to the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Raja. Firstly, you are a master in storytelling. Everybody is totally aware of it. It was an amazing introduction. You started with your story of when you were a kid. You had humor through it, and you also you were successful in keeping the audience itched to the story by asking them questions in between. And all through your sessions, you went back and forth to the theme of the meeting. The conflict in storytelling. I must say it was a very interesting theme. You created suspense, especially when you asked a question, and Veerabhadrappa sir told about internal conscious being an internal conflict. I am sure you added already for the next session, so you told you'll answer it later. And again, after the prepared speech session, you went back to the theme and also continued with that story. That was very interesting. A suggestion would be that you could maybe keep it short so that we have time, because of the long introduction, then again you coming back to the theme. There was shortage of time, and I'm sure our table topic master didn't explain how the table topic session goes on because of that. So next time, the challenge would be, if you're keeping the introduction long, maybe cut down on this or keep the introduction short. That way you can spread the theme all over the meeting. And after every individual's speech, you had a humorous take on it, or after each and every session, you had that story instantly coming up, connecting it to your personal story. Like when Toastmaster Shreya told about her daughter, right? You instantly told about your bargain negotiating skills, which was you have that strong power with you where you can grab the attention of the whole audience. So overall, a great session. Huge round of applause to Toastmaster Raja. Before I hand over the charge back to Toastmaster Raja, I must mention this was one of the best, interesting meetings. We had the best of the best speeches. All the speeches were competition in itself. best evaluation, best table topic session, one of the very good table topic session with very interesting responses by our DTM K Prabhakara sir and Toastmaster Sai Snehal, which was very inspiring. All the responses were also very nice, and also a huge round of applause to the TAPG role takers who did a great, fabulous job. Now I would like to give back the chance to Toastmaster for that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. Everybody has voted. So there are no formulas in storytelling, but there are principles that has worked for a longer duration, and we can add that when we are telling the story. And one such thing is conflict, where the story, whatever you're writing when you're coming and speaking, there is a quote that is said by Hitchcock. Story is life with dull parts taken out. So you come and when you're telling a story over here, you're not going telling the sequence of events, rather you add something interesting. And what is that interesting thing? Conflict and suspense. With that, I'll give it back to the President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajan. When you take over as the president of the club, or you just join the club, these are the meetings that you hope for. These are the kind of meetings that you wish to see week after week. And I thoroughly had a good time sitting there and witnessing all our wonderful speakers today. Your effort, something that inspires me to come week after week and deliver my address as well. So I want all of you to know that as well at the same time. So since we are running a bit ahead of time, I'll get into the winners of today's meeting. I'll finish. Okay, starting with the best role taker, TAPG. So one thing I have to appreciate, this man has been a Toastmaster for several years, and he's now started taking TAPG roles, but he still gives 100% effort. He does every last bit of the work that has been asked of him. Extremely commendable. And at the same time, this award is also tied between a person who's just joined our club and also done an equally sincere job as the timer. So the best role takers TAPG today are Grammarian Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa and Time Toastmaster Bhavana. Moving on to the best role taker, MTG. Okay, this goes to a person that I'm extremely proud of. From the time he's joined, today he's become someone who believes that no matter what role I take up, I have to deliver value to my people. And today he's brought in so much with this theme, conflict in storytelling. And he's done an amazing job as the MC. It goes to our MC Toastmaster, Raj. Best table topic speaker for today. Okay, so this is a closely fought contest. Nevertheless, we do have a clear winner. I honestly forgot what the topic was, but I can tell you that he is one person who's won contests back in the day when it came to table topics, and he's someone who's you can rely on to give you a valuable table topic. It goes to Toastmaster Sai Snehal. best evaluator for today? Well, one amazing speech that you had today was centered around Medu Vadas, and this evaluator took that aspect about food and Medu Vada and used it to deliver her evaluation. Shows you how much of a skilled evaluator she is, and I really wish she comes back more often and takes up these roles as well. Best evaluator for today, Toastmasters Sindhushree. And the best speaker for today. Okay. Again, 3 amazing speeches, all of them putting great effort. One about Medu Vada, one about negotiation, and one about the threads of his life. And the ballot shows me the same thing, but we have a clear winner. And it goes to the person who managed to walk away from that auto driver that day, something I wouldn't have done. Best speaker for today, Toastmasters Shreya. With that, I congratulate all the winners, and I hope all our guests had a wonderful time today. If you want to attend once more or you want to become a member, there is always our weekly membership, Toastmasters Industry, that you can contact. And I request all our members to continue networking downstairs once we're done here. With that, I close meeting number 1209.